And of course, last week Barry was on Friday night, Peter, and he and Philippe Clement had 20 minutes or so together over there in La Manga. He's not saying too much about it, but he was really impressed by the Belgian manager.
Yeah, but it's great that the fact that the captain there, who won many trophies for them, was sitting there with the manager, and the manager giving him the time, because I think that was something that was going to miss a little bit from the club. And we said it was so important with having players like that. But when you've had players with the experience of Barry, with winning as well, and there's not a massive age difference either. You understand where it goes with the manager, and I think that's important, because people think, oh, you're either a dinosaur or you're too young. And I think having that fine balance and listening to someone's opinion is always nice.
You enjoyed it, Barry, and you're impressed.
I take people at face value. I'm sure you do, Grant, as well, and yourself, Paul. And that 20-30 minutes I had with him when I bumped into him at the hotel, I came away impressed, thinking that Rangers are certainly in good hands. But he knows it's still early doors, and that's what I like. He's not getting carried away. He knows there's a lot of work still to be done. He totally gets that Rangers is all about winning trophies, and what they need to do is they need to wrestle trophies off Celtic. They're the ones that have been flying high over the last few years.
I think that's the thing, Barry, for the Celtic side of it. I'm looking at it, I think he speaks very well.
He's very, you know what I got, Grant? He's very respectful. He understands.
That's
There's
what I mean.
No like, we'll win it. And
he mentions the name. I keep going back to, he mentions the name. If I'm talking about Rangers, I'll talk about Rangers. I'm not talking about them across the road or whatever. That rubbish, that does my head in. And I think the bottom line is he respects it. He talks about the game. He talks expectation of Rangers. He's not bothering about anybody else. And I think that's the way Celtic Rangers managers should be. Don't worry about Rangers. I'm worrying about doing my job properly and what we're doing for our supporters and what we're doing for our football club. We know that the challenge is going to be between Celtic and Rangers because they're the two best teams. That's a fact.
Also, it wasn't just about Celtic. He respects the Scottish game. And that's what came out.
Well, is that not what you find strange in about Derek Adams?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a car crash. What he said
about twice, Paul.
Ago. I know.
But that's what I'm saying. You've got another manager who's got a hell of a lot of experience in Europe and winning trophies and whatever, and coming and buying into this. And that, for me, that looked a positive, bringing someone like that, bringing a Brendan Rodgers back after we lose Ange, unfortunately, in the respect of that. But you look at that and you think to yourself, well, hopefully we can continue to do that and build the name of the Scottish game. He comes in and hits it with a sledgehammer. You know, and you think, what a stupid comment that was to make, you know. I found it really bizarre. And Philippe Clement, to be fair, it was been the complete opposite.
Yep, and it was good to see, like, very intense training. And I'm a big believer you've got to train the way you want to play, whether that's on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Saturday or a Sunday. And training, you're there to train, you're there to graft, and that's what I got out of it as well. Sitting at the side or standing at the side, watching it. You only seen 45 minutes or an hour, but for what I seen, you think to yourself, look, the guys know that they need to roll their sleeves up and work hard.
But you know yourself, Baz, as a top player, you've got to go out there every single day
100%.
and try to be the best, you know, against your teammates. I used to travel up in the car and all that, and we all used to be sitting there laughing and joking, whatever, but onto the training pitch, we're fighting with each other, we're getting sent down for training, you know. But Paul, it wasn't over then. It was just because the games were so intense. Everything, whether it was a possession, whether it was an actual shadow. I'd seen people with stitches in shadow. Believe it or not, it was unbelievable. You know, because it was so intense. You know that things had to be done properly. But that was the demand from you, because you didn't want to look a mug in front of your teammates. You know, so you had to do what you do well, and that was the most important thing. Boys, we go back to small. You talked about Andy Walker earlier on. Guys like him, if they missed the target in training, all you seen them doing was giving themselves like 10 knees to the chest and press ups and everything. They were punishing themselves without a manager punishing them. That was the pride that they had to hit in the back of the net. And that's what you've got to have when you're a footballer. A manager or a coach should never need to tell you to give your maximum to try and be the best every day.
You're there to work. When you step on that training ground, it's work time. And you've got to put it in. It should be a given for me.
Yeah.
You should train. It's your last ever training session. But look, just getting that 20 minutes or 25 minutes, well, I've got to be honest with you, I did walk away and think to myself, Rangers, they clearly done their homework, and he clearly done his homework on Scotland as well. It's Scottish football, not just Rangers. I mean, he knew everything about the Rangers in terms of how they went the full season, watched all the games, but also he knew everything about all the other clubs, which sometimes I think people come in and they're ignorant towards the game. But I got the impression this guy knows, look, it's a brilliant club to work for, but he understands it's a hard job and he needs to win. And listen, he's got off to a really good start, there's no doubt about that.